What's going on, gamers? Hopefully y'all have been enjoying the presents you've unwrapped. Personally, I didn't get any because I don't need any. I said you get to a certain point, but y'all, they're still playing that game, or you got some kids that you're doing that for, I can understand. So hopefully there's some good news here in this article I found by WCCF Tech. It says, Asus rumored. So this is going to be interesting, guys. The news just dropped today on this 25th. Rumored to enter DRAM market next year to tackle memory shortages. It's like, oh my God, are we finally going to get a break here? I hope so. Because this is where Asus can come in and embarrass the others and really get some more positive love towards them from the electronics community, because people have always liked Asus when it comes to laptops. You know what I mean? I've always loved their products and I've always thought they did a good job. But now more than ever, we need somebody to come in that is not going to be just ridiculous and manipulative and full of it. And just, because NVIDIA is just, I don't know what to say about them, along with Samsung just going villain mode as well too. Micron doing what they're doing, stepping back, and just all this crap is looking like it's going to be terrible. We finally got somebody coming in saying, you know what, I'm going to step in and make sure that this is going to be tackled a bit better. Let's read about it. Are we ready? Like, comment, subscribe. You guys let me know what you think about this. So this was written by Hassan. And it's going to be interesting. Asus is rumored to enter the DRAM manufacturing segment by 2026, which should ensure a stable memory supply for its PC lineups. So they're going to make sure their laptops are fine, so I think they can keep their prices the way they've always had them. Now, if they can help out too outside of that, that would be nice. Let's read, because this is definitely going to be important, because this affects PlayStation, this affects Xbox Magnus, this affects Nintendo Switch 2. This affects the Steam machine and any laptop build that you have, or even if you want to get some of the PC parts, maybe they may be able to help into that with some Asus aspects going on. I don't know. We're going to find out. So it says Asus to tackle it. Rumor claims the current memory crisis has affected all aspects of the PC business and the prices of all electronics. Shoot, when it comes to video games and building and all that. I mean, good Lord, man. And there's little that PC makers can do. Yeah, we don't want to be living in no renting electronics world. Get out of here with that crap. This ain't no house. This ain't no banking nonsense. Most have already raised the prices of their products, and shortages will lead to delays in the coming years. Man, see, that's where I just don't like to. Yeah. But it looks like one of the biggest PC makers is deciding to tackle memory shortages by entering the DRAM business itself. This would be huge, guys. As per a rumor shared by Persian tech outlet, this says, Stuck the Fazagmag. I don't know what the hell that means. I've never seen that word before, but it looks like Asus is planning to enter the DRAM market in a big way and as early as 2026. This is the same outlet that has previously leaked information on AMD and Intel CPUs that turned out to be correct. Hey, that's good, man, because that means that they were right. So we will advise our readers to take it with a grain of salt. Like, you could say that, but obviously you want to hope for the best as we're getting ready to enter into 2026 with this news right here. Because Asus is not something that is just minuscule. No, they're massive in that world. Damn, bug up in here. Get out of here. So I'm really hoping that this can be true. So coming back to the rumor, it is stated that Asus plans to set up dedicated DRAM production lines by the end of Q2 2026. So they're going to be joining in to make it easy. You know what's so interesting? Sony had made sure they secured all the way up to that kind of date, which is kind of interesting. If memory prices and supplies don't return to normal, current reports expect memory shortages to last, as we know, to the end of 2027. That's why I was telling people that if you think about to the end of 2027, there's no way the Magnus could launch 2027 or the PS6. Anybody that's saying, I'm like, what is wrong with you? That means that you would have to get the parts and get it ready to mass manufacture at the end or the beginning of 2027 to get ready for that. And you're going to be paying out the behind for all of those prices, and even into 2028. Let's hope this is not true and that AI bubble pops, because I'm telling you right now, that's going to screw up everything. Like, Steam Machine is never going to be They're not going to subsidize, and that would just really ruin everything on how it's going to launch, because it's going to be screwed from the get-go with Half-Life 3 helping, you know what I mean? Because it's like, as soon as it launches, it's right in the middle of that crisis, and it was just going to last all the way through. Something has to give. Something has to help here. This thing has to pop faster. Because you just got to think about it too. Like, you've waited how long for Valve to do something like that? And then finally, when they get ready, what happens, guys? Yeah, this crap comes here out of nowhere, and it's just terrible. Like, I just still can't believe this is going on, but it doesn't surprise me. And like I've told people before, I don't believe this is something that's just natural. There's a lot of manipulation and greed going on here. Don't get me started with NVIDIA. We already talked about that. So coming back to the rumor, it is stated that Asus plans to set up, as we see right here, Asus being one of the biggest PC players out there, does have the capability to enter the DRAM market. Yeah, full capability, guys, I'm telling you. But even then, setting up a dedicated plant just for DRAM manufacturing will be a huge task for them. Yeah, it's not easy as you think, because you have to get a whole bunch of things lined up. You know, it's like somebody was like trying to come in and set up a new data center around the world. Like Sony moving their base to US, you don't just get that going up in a month. It takes time to get all that going, and it costs money. So I'm wondering how they're going to get this going. And I just don't think this is rumor. I think this is something they're really thinking about, because it's something that's needed more than ever. And I think this could be a pro-consumer move by them if they do it the right way, but not coming in to do that to get another monopoly because they want to take advantage like all these other tech companies. And that's what bothers me a little bit if they decide to do that, but I hope they do not. So going down, it says, in the case the rumor holds up and Asus does enter the DRAM market, it will firstly focus on streamlining the supply for its own products. So at first, it is going to benefit laptops. And that's going to take some time. So this kind of sucks in a way, because what I mean by that is that it's not going to help Steam Machine. Obviously, at first, PlayStation 5, PS5 Pro's price, Nintendo Switch 2's price, and the Magnus, if it's going to come out, it's going to get delayed, obviously. And same thing for PS6, which doesn't need to come out till late 2028 anyways. So this gives you the idea that if you do want to look for something in the PC world, since that's getting screwed over the most, if you got to build a PC somewhere and you ain't getting no deals, then you're going to have to go Asus. And most people did anyways, because Asus was always leading in the laptop industry for the longest. Obviously, Lenovo Legion has stepped their game up a bit, but people still love Asus when it comes to ROG and TUF and all of that. So one thing that's good about this is that they immediately let you know the headline. It's supplying its own products first, which mainly include PCs such as laptops and desktops. Now, nobody buys Asus for desktops, but if they get things going a certain way, I don't know, there may be some aspects to where people may have to look to that, because it's just getting so insane outside of that. The Asus, ROG, and TUF lineups are a crucial business, and Asus, just like other PC brands out there, doesn't like paying extra to procure memory for said products. And you know, Asus also had its own lineups when it comes to cards and all that too. And you know how NVIDIA is thinking, so they're like, man, we're going to get our own stuff then, because you guys are being ridiculous. They're taking matters into their own hands, and they're acting immediately, apparently. This move comes at a time when other memory makers such as Crucial, Micron have left the market. The difference between Crucial and Asus is that Crucial was a memory module manufacturing front for Micron, if you guys didn't know that. Micron was the main brand responsible for manufacturing DRAM products, and they serve a vast market with products for servers and data centers that are currently being gobbled up by AI data feed. Yeah, Asus is not going to do that. So that's a good thing if they can get in there and then take their place and do a better job and keep the laptop prices doing pretty well and some desktop prices. They could be the pro-consumer aspect of this dark cloud coming and then help out other people. They have the opportunity to do this. Asus, you have the opportunity to do this. Micron, like Samsung and Hynix, went for profitability, which, like I said, we saw that they went villain mode. But for Asus, it is more about survival in the current crisis scenario. Yeah. That's what it seems like. If Asus does end up opening up a DRAM front, then we can see other PC businesses also benefiting from them if they can meet their own demand and are left with additional capacity to benefit the market. Though only time will tell whether this actually ends up being the case. It gets interesting. So we got some comments down here. This guy says, oh, yes, another market for Asus to price gouge and to tell their customers to go F themselves for their premier customer support. That is hilarious. Let's hope they don't do that. Well, I don't know. We got to look for some like optimism in this glass here. Did they order machines from ASML? Because you need to build a whole factory with the appropriate tools. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's not going to be easy. And it takes more than 6 months to buy, build, test, and engage volume production without making mistakes and saying there's a whole bunch of RAM faulty aspects because I haven't done this before. But obviously they could get helped. And there's going to be some people to decide. They're probably going to come to them and say, hey, we can help you. And guys, you should do that. If any professionals are watching that have been in this industry long enough, because this is important for the consumer and for the market. Not even talking about recruiting a whole bunch of people that can calibrate and use those tools. China's company needed to steal information to produce 10 NM class memory modules. Doubt Asus could produce anything before 2028. You know what's so interesting about that statement is what him saying how tough this could be. But I don't know. Asus is a big dog, so we're going to see. More like taking advantage of the crazy price instead to tackle DRAM shortages. Asus, guys, the greediest AIV. That's my thing. Like, I get what they're saying and I know about them, but I want to think a little bit more positive about this, but we don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this also too. Like I said, if that means that you can keep your laptop prices stable even then and your desktop prices stable and benefit a little bit outside of that, that will be amazing. But with the way these tech giants are working lately, I don't blame people's skepticism. I really don't. Given the lead times in building and getting operational chip manufacturing factories, I'd be surprised if Asus can get into the market that quickly. See, a lot of people are doubting this. Unless it has advanced plans already, which I think they would be doing. Or it's planning to buy an existing supplier. Never know. That's why we need to get more information. Now, of course, I will keep you guys up to date on that. If they're just packaging the RAM from the main manufacturers, I can't see there would be much change to prices. I know what he means by that. So, not to tackle shortages, but to reap insane profits by selling RAM with insane margins. This is what I'm hoping they don't do, but you never know, guys. More like milk the memory shortage. See, a lot of people are coming in and they're literally slamming. This is funny. Asus doesn't have fab to make DRAM chips, can only make overpriced modules by buying from the cartel of 3. And I said this before too. And the reason why I do doubt this a little bit too, because what they did with the ROG Ally, they didn't subsidize with Microsoft. So I really hope these guys don't come in being another asshole villain that is greedy, that needs more money when they don't. Another product for Asus, not in honor of warranty. Yeah, this was great earlier. China chip maker SMC raises wafer prices by about 10% as memory demand tightens capacity, by Luke James, published 2 hours ago. Data shows China's largest foundry moving prices higher, led by memory-related production amid high utilization and shifting global supply dynamics. Oof. Great. The solution of facing high RAM prices is to have high RAM prices with the extra Asus tack on top of the high RAM prices. So people are already saying they're going to be going for the anti-consumer route. Oh my God. Yeah, you know what I mean? I didn't want to think that either. I kind of wanted to think positive about it, but it looks like as I'm reading, I can see people coming in here. You know, they're rebranded Micron chips. You dope. Absolutely nothing will change. If you're serious on helping, start going after the root cause of the price hikes. NVIDIA's AI obsession. I agree with that. That would actually be very nice. So guys, we're already getting some comments here saying what people actually think. I want to know what you guys think. Leave some comments down below, in the YouTube section. Let me know what you guys think about that. Asus rumored to enter the DRAM market next year to take advantage of the memory shortages. That's actually pretty funny. Oh man, this is man. Hopefully they prove us wrong, but that's gonna be a rare event. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think. Later.